I'm live. That's not good. Looks like I got one person here. If you can hear me, please let me know. I'm using like a really weird setup here. Give me 1 second. How did my vocal sound? Any feedback would be great, folks. Any feedback. I have no idea what I'm doing. There we go. Let's see. Oops. Still here, guys. Uh-oh. And I'm back. All right. So, can you guys tell me how, like, can you see my work area as well as like my face? Let me know. I'm really trying to figure this out as I go. Let's see. All right. Well, looks like I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna start building. Hold on a second. Looks like I have to add. There you go. Okay, one problem here is the background is still from my last live stream with Ryan, or Ryan, I should say. Let's see. No, that was fine. Let's switch over to that background. Okay. All right, this is starting to make a little bit more sense. All right, can you tell me what you guys see? Do you see the cutting mat? And do you see me side by side? What's up, Notorious? All right, well, let me start unloading some stuff. Let me get my nippers. Oh man, it's 3:40 a.m. over by you. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Let's get my little tool basket here. Appreciate it. Okay, side by side view, that's good. Perfect. Yeah, so I've never actually done this before, not in this setup. So it's kind of weird for me, but I'm making it work. I have no confirmation at all if anybody's actually watching this on my Twitch, but that's okay. All right, so as you can see, I got the big ass box here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking the runners out, organizing them, and I'm going to start cracking at it. I don't know how far I'm going to get tonight. I'm probably only going to do this for like an hour or so, kind of get myself situated with this whole live stream format, and then go from there. I'm assuming most of you guys have already seen my unboxing of this, so nothing is new, hopefully. I won't have to repeat anything. Alright, yeah, so this is the manual, or the folder that the manual comes in. Here's my limited edition card. I have a number 651 out of 3,000. So I guess that makes me special. I always, actually always wonder whether or not this is bullshit. You know, is there another 651 out there, or did they really make 3,000? I don't know. I think it's just to build hype and sell more kits, but yeah. All right, so you must be excited for the kit. I'm the same way. I've actually got, I know nobody wants to see the unicorn, but maybe I'll pull that out in the stream at some point. Because I finished building it and I have not transformed it yet at all. I haven't even done any real posing yet, so I'm gonna mess around with that this week. But yeah, so I'm going to familiarize myself with these runners. Doesn't look like it's too much. Looks like I can leave these 3 out because they're just for the base, hopefully. Yeah, it's not a ton of runners. They say it's 1,500 parts, but it's not a ton of runners, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's see. There you go. Hey man, like, you know, there are people that for whatever reason they'll like shit on unboxings, but why wouldn't you want to be, especially for a kit like this that's completely brand new from a completely different, a new company that no one knows about? Why wouldn't you want to watch a unboxing or like know what you're getting yourself into? You know, and I'm geared towards that if I'm interested in the kit. So, Cameron, where did you order yours from? Peace out, Notorious. I should really have my Discord. I should have the Discord up side by side, but I'm working on an iPad Pro, so it's like laptop adjacent, but not full laptop functionality. So bear with me. How do I? Let's see. Let's do this. As you guys can, yeah, I'm sure you guys can hear my, you can hear my dog in the background. All right. So it looks like you build the base first. So maybe that's just what I do. I start with the base. Luckily, that's not an issue. All right, let's put that away. Hold on, let me give you guys a better vantage point here. Dream Studio. How's their pricing and shipping? I see them pop up a lot, but I've been really loyal to Gundam Model Center for pretty much forever, so I don't think I'll be giving them up anytime soon. Or if I don't buy from GMC, I source it myself from Taobao or something. All right, let's see. Hope this bag opening isn't too bad for you guys. Huh. It's pretty simple so far. Everything is just these two runners, so. Guys will see my workflow. This is my razor. Give me 1 second, folks. One of my day ones is in here. Alvo Disco, aka Rob. Give me 1 second. Oh boy. Alright. Yeah, so I've got, this is my razor from Gun Primer, but it actually broke, so I got a new one recently. They're not necessary. I like to tell people that all the time. They're like kind of like an artisan tool, if that makes sense, but that's okay. I'll show you guys how. Actually, let me bring this over my hands a little bit more. So I clip everything out. I might need some interaction from you guys. I need feedback. This is my first stream of this sort. I dropped it on the floor. They are glass, you know, so I even tried to glue it a couple of times before I just said fuck it and bought a new one. It was worth it to me. Alright, cleanup begins. This is where I come in and take my God hands and clip this shit. So I've said this before, plastic quality on this thing is actually pretty good. Like, much better than Mechanicore. Yeah, I used to have a carpet, but I don't have a carpet anymore. We got, we redid this room, so I have hardwood floors now. This is the razor, the black. It really, literally lets me eliminate these nubs so quickly. So another one of those. I would say this right here is even less. Actually, it's probably better. This is even less necessary than this, but pick and choose when to use them, and actually lets me deal with nubs really quickly. So I'm not much of a problem with that. Is that screeching bothering you guys? Is it like a chalk on a chalkboard? ASMR type of stuff? Alright. It's one. I don't think there's any difference between them. So I can kind of lay them out wherever I want, hopefully. Okay, that kind of just slides in there. Everything I do, I want to, I don't really want to make anything permanent because I will be painting this eventually. This doesn't really snap in. Okay, that just feels like it's more secure there. It doesn't really snap in, which is weird, but I'm okay with that. I can address that when I'm getting ready to paint. I am stepping away from sponges. I want things with handles so I can have more control. What's cool about this is it's literally just some sticky sandpaper with some adhesive on the back, and you apply it right to here, and just go to town. And having a handle like this actually allows you to grip it in a lot of ways that you can get different angles and things like that. So yeah, they gave me a quote. They gave me a quote for the GP02, the Mechanicore GP02, when they got it in stock. Right after I got mine, just because I was curious about how much they were going to sell it for, and I sourced it myself from Taobao for a better price. So I don't remember exactly what they told me, but it wasn't worth it. But I mean, I'm all for more sellers, and I'm sure it works better in some markets than others, which is fine. I'll tell you what about the sanding sponges. I need the rigidity. What ends up happening with those sponges is because they're soft, they hug the corners of the parts, and they make them less sharp as you sand, and I don't like that, so I don't use them anymore. Only for like minor, like I use like the balancers and stuff like that from Gun Primer, but just because I use them to like resurface the parts a little bit, but even they can take on they can smooth out sharper corners, so I got to be careful with that. What? $100 just to ship, as in like $100 for shipping, or what? It's probably in the height of COVID too, so I gotta, I do recognize that. Do you guys hear my dog snoring in the background? Oh, 2 of them. That's still ridiculous, though. That's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I should have not clipped all these out at once because they actually have part numbers, and like they're like 01 and 02, and I don't know which is which, and I shouldn't have done that. But that's okay. Yeah, I can get that. I don't know. I'm like, I'm actually like more price conscious, right? Because when you start buying the more expensive stuff, you start looking for where you can save money here and there. So it's one of the reasons why I bought them from GMC, because GMC, everyone knows that like the premier seller of these types of kits, like Mechanicore and stuff like Rodams and whatever, like these type of kits, is King's Toyland. And luckily for this kit, GMC was able to source it directly from the manufacturer, which made their pricing made their pricing better actually, than me sourcing it myself. So I think this came out to less than $300, and I got it in 4 days. There we go. Is there anyone who's watching this right now that's watching it from my Twitch? From my stream deck, it's like I can see that I have X amount of viewers, and it tells me that everyone I can't see who those viewers are, but everyone commenting it says has a YouTube symbol next to it. So it looks like most people are coming over from my YouTube, which is fine. I remembered that I had Twitch the other day, so yeah, no, it's easier to do it that way. I have no interest in building a following on Twitch or anything like that. I don't even know how often I'm going to stream on here or do these kind of things. Sorry, I got to remember that I can't pull the parts away. There we go. Oh man, I'm gonna have to change the sandpaper on this because I'm killing it on here. The nubs are really large, so. So my Twitch does work. Who stepped those numbers, boy? There you go. All right. Sorry, the beginnings of this build are really boring. Garrett, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't really announce this. I've just been saying casually that I'd be streaming this build at some point, and I finally decided to start. All right, I know what I gotta do. I'll show you guys how the razor, the black, actually works. Let's see. So it actually comes with sheets of sandpaper. This one is 600 grit, and I've already cut these to size. I think I need 400 grit though. So let me see if I can find that sheet. I found the sheet. All right, so it's pretty simple. I'm doing anything but building right now. So yeah, this is the sheet they come with, but any adhesive sandpaper will do. I have these infinity sticks that I essentially they come in numerous shapes. Got a third or fourth one over here too, but yeah, just to make my life a little bit easier, I'm going to replace this with a 400 grit that isn't as worn as this 600 grit is. So pretty much I just line it up. And I cut. That's not nice. I don't like that. Oh, looks like I got some sanding dust on my face. All right. Line it up. And that's that. Now I just follow the line that I just cut. Pop off the old one. And this is it's weird because it's Velcro-y, sort of. I promise, guys, that when I start actually doing more building of this, you'll see more builds instead of me getting myself situated. But that's just where we are. So boom, there it is. And now I've got, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a gross nub mark right here that I can't fit my God hands into. And although I can fit my Mr. Hobby nippers into there, it's not sharp enough. Or yeah, it doesn't cut well enough. So maybe it's, I don't know if it'll show better here. No, it won't. But yeah, so this nub. And I'm going to hit it with the 400. And it's gone. Yeah, you know, this is not like rocket science or anything like that. I know. I just like when tools work and when they're easy to use. So. All right, that goes. None of these are really snapped in. I don't mind because ultimately I'm going to take it apart anyway, but nothing really snapped in. All right, so then they say 309, which is that circle part right here. One thing I am noticing, guys, undergates everywhere, which is good. Okay. Yeah, so this, it takes the nubs off so quickly. Sometimes I gotta, wow, so that is loose as fuck. Maybe not, I don't know. It is. It doesn't really, this doesn't really clip in. That's okay. At the end of the day, stuff like this is gonna be glued in anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, so now we're looking at here. You probably can't see it. Let's see if there's a way I can make this clearer for you guys. Probably not. I don't think you can get it any clearer than this. All right, so X8. I probably should have done a more formal unboxing before I started this. Let's see. It's X1, X1, X2. Interesting. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to lay all of these runners out. All right, and hopefully I can. They make sense. They look like they're numbered as opposed to lettered. So this is 03. The big base is 02. Off screen right now is my runner holder. So that's that. Alright, let's open these up. This is 15. This is the it's coated with paint coated, not necessarily. It's not plated. It's like the Hayakushiki kind of vibes here. So let's put that over there towards the end. 16B and 16D, so these go even further. Hopefully I don't run out of slots for my runners. This is 9. Let's see. Not bad. Visual learner and watch stuff like this helps people more. Hey man, I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate you coming to me to kind of see this stuff, because let me move my mic over, because I don't do this shit, you know, professionally at all. I just kind of put my stuff together and I try to do what I can. Like I said, I'm no pro. I'm just doing it. Put that over here. Is that the 9th spot? Probably. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 9th spot. All right, time to start pulling out runners and doing the damn thing. Okay. Another 16B. My wife is going to be pissed that I have all this crap laying out. Decent quality, guys. I'm impressed. Very slight texture, but it's not bad at all. How do you like those sound effects, guys? This is real life here. Shit. Some runners just fell. It's a pretty big shield. Nice crisp details on this. This is going to be fun to paint for sure. Yeah. Thanks for joining, by the way. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, let's see, 28. So it looks like about 32 runners. Not too crazy. I'm going to say Cassie was maybe that much as well. Maybe. Got a little bit of, you probably can't see it here, but a little bit of texture on that. Not too crazy, but yeah, I can see that. So I've got 2 work areas. I've got like a work area that I use for smaller-ish kind of, builds, maybe 20 or so runners, and then this work area I use for the bigger stuff. And I've been finding myself spending a lot of time over here lately. But I switched over for the unicorn to my other workstation, and now it's super messy, and I got to do something about rearranging here. I got to make my setup more ergonomic. Yeah, the Cassie is, it's about 30 or so runners, I think. Something like that. I don't know. I've got the one I'm building in a bin. Yeah. So this is about the same amount of parts of the Cassie. I think it is pronounced like K-SEE. I could be wrong. Let's see. Is there a way for me to find out while sharing my screen on here? Can I share my screen? I don't know if I can. What does it look like to you guys right now? I think I just changed up the format. Maybe. No, I didn't. Okay. I'm going to stop fucking with this. Let's see. Cassie. Sorry, that's my dog snoring in the background. All right. I'm on the Gundam.fandom.com. Let's see. I'll paste exactly what I see here. Give me 1 second. All right. Let's switch over back here. So, can I put this in a banner? Yeah, let me put this in a banner. See how this works. No, it can't work. It's too much text. Yeah, I'll post it in the chat. There you go. The RX-105, whatever that number, that symbol is, I'm assuming that's the Cassie. Yeah, exactly. It's KSI, so I pronounce it Cassie. I used to pronounce it Zai, and then I don't know when I started calling it. I think I read that that Gundam fandom site, and I was like, okay, Cassie from now on, and it makes me sound smarter too. Yeah, 26 meters. And I will say this, right? Like, there are a lot of people, they get caught up, like they think that we'll never get, for a long time, there are a lot of people that didn't think we'd ever get a master grade of this. The Cassie in master grade form would probably be about an inch taller than the Sazabi Verka, which is a big kid for sure. Don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't be like super overwhelming. I'm assuming that's some kind of like it's not a Greek letter, because I was in a fraternity and we had to memorize the Greek alphabet. I don't think it's a Greek letter, at least. But it's something. Yeah. All right. What else do we got here? Oh man. It's really showing me how this kid has 1,500 parts. Well, so what I did was if you go based on the so what I like to do is that the website. Let me actually copy and paste it in the chat. Now I'm talking about stuff that's not the build, but that's okay. You guys will get to see me actually build this as I go. So if you look, if you're on a computer, if you click on the head height, right? So it is 1,023.622 inches. Divide that by 100, and you've got your master grade, your general master grade size. So it would be about 10.23 inches. If you were to search Sazabi, which I'm trying to do. All right, Sazabi is, so the head height for Sazabi is 23 meters. So it's like it comes out to 905 inches. So you're talking about 9.05 inches right? For the Sazabi Verka. So you're talking about maybe an inch and a quarter taller, which is still really big, but not it's not that like it's not that massive. And I think that oh, is it still can you see me now or is it still black? I switched I went over to another window to look up the Sazabi stuff. So let me know if you can still see me. 14. Put that over there for now. Can you guys see me? Let me know, let me know, let me know. I think you can. Okay, good. Perfect. Yeah, I will always be a fan of those larger mobile suits though. That's what I love to build. Oh man, so many runners. Jesus Christ. And they're huge. These are big runners. Cassie did not have runners this big. But I guess like the difference here is where Rodams just combined two big runners. Like the Cassie would have this runner, but like split in half. Shit ton of detail on this. Shit ton of detail. 12. Oh man, and it's unfortunate because I'm only going to be on the stream for like an hour tonight, but later in the week, probably either tomorrow or Wednesday, you guys will get a more full, you'll get a more full picture of what's going on because I'll have been situated. And it'll be more of me clipping parts because now they'll be in reach. And I've still got a lot of stuff that I got to do with this MGEX unicorn. I'm like the only person like maintaining hype for that thing, but I think it's for good reason. If you don't like the unicorn, fine. I think that's a really good reason not to get it. But here's the thing though, right? Like, and this is obviously not the the case for everything, but like, Cassie and Penelope aren't that complex either. They're not that complex. It's just a lot of high part count. That's and that's one of the things. If you're not someone that's into third party kits, that is probably like their biggest strength and their biggest weakness. They don't have, for whatever reason, they don't have the. It's probably budget too. They don't have the engineering to kind of do things the way Bandai would do it. There's a lot of stuff that in third party kits they would make 2, 3, or 4 parts, where Bandai would just be one part. Which simplifies the build a lot. And again, depending on the kit, that's good or bad. But this is look at this right here. This is how you know it's not Mechanicore. This is straight up master grade. This is what you would see in a master grade kit. And this is the whole inside of the frame. Obviously like that, the bottom of the foot, and here's the other piece. No way in hell you would see this in Mechanicore. This would be 400 pieces if it was a Mechanicore kit. Yes, I agree. I think I think that what ends up happening is a lot of people go into mechanical kits thinking, they're going to get, it's a Bandai kit, and it's not. But even then, it's really not that. I'm there. Don't get me wrong. I'm sitting on, and I'm talking about like the early stuff, like Cassie, Penelope, even the Griefer. But I'm sure I'm looking at the Ziegler right now, and I'm sure that's complicated as hell. It'll take forever, but still, at the end of the day, it's about how much patience you have to put part A to part B. Is it a limitation? I would say no. And so, my background is I'm a mechanical engineer, and I work in manufacturing. It's what it is that it for at least from my perspective, I think that it's just that Bandai has more engineers on their side. Like they're actually paying for engineering. There is always a better, faster way to do something, right? And if you're gonna do it, if you can find a way to do three things in one step, right? Like that is where, that's, as a company, that's where the value is. Most of these companies, they've got a lot of they probably got a lot of tradespeople that can make anything out of anything, but it's like that's when you get parts, like you get high part count kits because they're not, it's hard to explain, but yeah, so that's kind of what it is, from that perspective at least. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm okay with that as long as the build experience isn't terrible. I'm not necessarily hating on that. Oh my god, there are a ton of these like 16 runners. But yeah, I mean, like, I'll say like a mechanical kit is probably more difficult than a PG because it has more parts, but PGs are better engineered than mechanical kits are. No, so yes, it is, right? Like it's easier to I mean, to make a part for every feature, right? Like that's simple. It's if you can, how do I explain this? I'll put it this way, right? For someone who doesn't have like for like, let's say a small company that doesn't have access to like advanced design, or like someone who you know has like some advanced experience in the design of like mold making and everything like that, right? Like this is probably like an example. Someone who may not have the means, or like, maybe they don't have someone on their team that could design this, like into one piece, right? Especially if you don't have the capital to make molds with a lot of detail. This would still, like this here, even this could be broken down into 2 or 3 parts, right? Like, so it's just easier to take one singular component and design it, or I should say design something that'll make it, than it would be to think ahead of time and combine all of those components into one kind of thing, if that makes sense. and like still maintain the visual of part separation and detail. I know I just said a lot there. But like, what's nice about this is that, model kits have been being made for years. So there's like nothing really new under the sun. But you can tell that like companies like those big brand toy companies or model kit companies or anything like that, they're constantly investing in better ways to make stuff so they can make more money on the back end. Yes, that is if I was situated right, I have my Mechanical GP03 sitting right next to me. If I was situated, I'd open it up and I'd pull that piece out. But yeah, like building third-party kits, you're constantly asking yourself, why is this more, like, why did they make this more than one piece? This is stupid. This is not something you should have to assemble. But not the same with that. You don't find yourself asking that question a lot with Bandai. So there's sometimes that separation is needed, like especially with something like the Suzabi Verka, where Bandai doesn't expect people to paint their kits, so they build to the best that they can. They build that part separation into there. But yes, we are spoiled by Bandai, absolutely, 150%. And not to say that, like, and I'm never gonna, as someone that does build a lot of third-party kits, I'm never going to be the shit on Bandai guy, because I give Bandai entirely too much of my money to say that I don't like what they do, because I definitely do. I'm looking at some of these parts right now. Like, I can already tell you that whatever this is, I don't know what it is, but it's going to plug into something that should have already been molded into that piece to begin with. I know it. This is, those third-party shenanigans. Plastic looks good, though. Plastic does look good. Yeah, I can only kind of speak from my own experiences. Like, I work in manufacturing, but like not model kit manufacturing at all. But that's at least the way we approach things. We pay design engineers a lot of money to make things effectively, and in a way that's like conducive to us being able to make a lot of them. And that's probably why, like with mechanical kits, they're also limited, because it's probably not the most like making these kits is probably not the most economical thing they could do, which is why the price points are really high. I have never built a Tamiya kit. I do enjoy their paints, though. I will say that. I enjoy their paints. Oh, man. I've got a lot of runners here, guys. A lot of runners. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. It has a nice ass shield. I'm excited. I'm excited to build this. Very much. All right. I should move this shit down. You guys aren't going to see me. You guys aren't going to see me build a damn thing on this first live stream. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, at 150%. 150%. That's what the appeal is. They're model maker kits. You know what I mean? Like if you like building models, build those kits. You know, and it's like I talked about it a little bit on my live stream with Ryan last week, but I don't have an issue with having to put in some extra work on like kits. You know what I mean? Like I build Mechanicore kits, and I'm 100% okay with that. I have an issue with like when people are like, don't buy the MGX Unicorn, just, you know, make the old one better. I'm like, the old one is not fun to deal with. Why would I, you know what I mean? Like, why? And I've dealt with it a lot. It's not fun. So, you know, like I look at something like the MGX and I'm like, yo, this is great. This is like, they fixed everything. It's actually fun to handle, you know, like I'm just thinking about the frustration that I got just like putting that thing together. I use my drill like this. My drill is literally in my. It's always it's right next to my nipper. You got to have them. You got to have them. All right, man. There's a lot of runners here. Almost done organizing them. I appreciate you guys that are hanging around, watching me fuck around with all this stuff. I appreciate it. Listening to my dog snore in the background really loudly. Here. I got the last big one around. Here's the thing. I know, right? He's loud. He's a Boston Terrier. So here's my thing about the whole pre-molded versus not pre-molded kind of conversation. I do not have any issue. I don't have any issue with the pre-molded stuff, right? And I'll tell you why. I built the high resolution Barbatos 6 form back in probably about 2 years ago now, right? Like the special edition one. And I know when the high resolution line first came out, everyone was like, oh man, like, oh, there's the frame is pre-built and, you know, like that defeats the purpose, blah, 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 this and that. But me being who I am, I got it anyway, and I wanted to build it. Come to find out that thing, you know, like with the pre-built frame, still had more runners and parts than the master grade Justice that I was just building, you know, that I was building around the same time. So, you know, yes, there are portions of it, you know what I mean, that are pre-built, but it didn't take away from the build at all. I still spent more time working on that high resolution Barbatos than I did on the Justice, and it took me longer to finish the Barbatos than it did to finish the Justice. So, and you know, that's back when I was just snap building things, but you know, even more so when you're painting, it's still a higher part count. So, generally when Bandai pre-build something, you know, especially for the higher price point stuff, the build itself isn't generally impacted by that. Or I should say I don't want to say the build, because like some of those high resolution kits were terrible, like the wing was, but I mean specifically like the length of the build, I should say. All right, so I pretty much got all of the big stuff. I'll turn this around real quick so you guys can see what I'm working with. So runners laid out over here and over there. Not everything. All of the smaller runners I'm just keeping at the box to my side. And there's a big pile of plastic next to me that I'm gonna have to get rid of so that my wife doesn't kill me in the morning. Okay. I don't want to get rid of the plastic just yet, just in case I have any parts that fell off in them, but I gotta put them aside somewhere. Usually put them in the box or something. Oh shit. There you go. And then if I'm missing anything, that's the first place I'll go. Oh, I'm sure they will. Absolutely. I'm sure they will. You know, like one of the things that, these companies get away with is the fact that, people still want to build complex stuff. So, the higher part count isn't necessarily a bad thing for us. Oh man, let's see, I got mine sitting right here. This is the best that you guys are going to be able to get. No. Yeah, man, I got this. It came across my desk like randomly. I had a buddy of mine in this hobby. So you guys have probably heard of him, Justinius Builds. Someone he knows asked him if they wanted a Cubolette, and he said no, but he knew that, like, as someone who's been building this kind of stuff, who's been trying to buy this stuff and build it and everything like that, he was like, I know somebody who does want it, so he recommended me, and that person reached out to me. The only thing is that this was actually in the person that had it, the house, it was in a house fire, essentially. The parts were fine. There was this like layer of like soot on the box, and you can still kind of sort of feel it. But some of the LEDs were rusted. So worst case, I'll replace those if I have to when the time comes. But I got a really, 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 really good deal on it. So yeah, man. Yeah. Yep. So there's like it's the boxes like have this. It's not as bad now because I cleaned it off when I got it. But yeah, all of the parts, everything was fine. The only thing that I had issues was the rust on the wires, which I'm assuming comes from the fire being put out. Difficult, no. Expensive, yes. I can point you to right now to Taobao, where you can buy each version of the Cubolette, full, like with all of the packs and everything. Whether you want to pay that, it's up to you. But you can find pretty much the only one that I think that I couldn't find right now if I really, really, really needed it. Is probably Penelope. Penelope has been pretty hard to come by, but everything else pretty accessible. If you want to pay, that's just to say. I'm telling you, man. I'll send you when I get back to the Discord. I'll send you a video, a YouTube video of how to use a Taobao agent, and I'll do you one better, and I'll actually send you the link to the product. So it's I promise you, it's not as hard as you think. Not as hard as you think. All right. 740. Holy shit, 8 of these. Why do I have this here? Yeah, I understand. You're on stream. Why? And I can hear you. That was my wife, guys. Oh shit. The part just came off the runner. Oh, there it is. Okay. That side. Yeah, I'm gonna log off in about 15 minutes myself. Maybe less than that. I do have work tomorrow. Nope, just me. I'm the model kit builder. She tolerates it though. For now. Yes, which is Derek, you're right. And what the weird thing about that is that the clear versions were actually produced less than the solid white version, which is weird. And when I was casually looking, I was like, all right, well, I would just buy the clear version and paint it, and paint it white. Exactly. But I ended up getting this one for cheaper than the price of the clear version. So, okay. Holy shit. 8 of these? All right. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I think more people bought the white version. I wasn't building back then, so I'm not necessarily sure how that release went, but I ended up getting one. So I went from having just the cassette about 2-3 years ago to having everything but the teeth sturmer, which I don't want. You know what's weird about that though? I have seen less people paint Mechanicore kits, I've seen less people who actually paint them than that just straight build them. I'm in a Mechanicore group. A lot of people don't paint them actually, believe it or not. Some people just like the complexity of the build, which is fine. I don't think I could ever do that. I didn't pre-order it, but I am gonna get it. I am 100% gonna get that. What is it, like the Teef Sturmer Explorer or some shit? Something like that? No, it's not ideal. But you know what? It's not so terrible that you couldn't just, like your matte coat on top would probably hide most of it. The problem with that is that you could, like, a Mechanicore paint job would take forever because you would 100% have to snap build and test fit everything before you paint it. 100%. No way around it. No way around it. That's like, why you take on a kit like that, and you're signing up for a multi-month kind of project. But like, that's what I would want from a kit that costs that much. Man. Well, guys, you know what? At least I got this built today, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts put together. Yeah, you 100% have to do that. Even then, like, some of the things that I'm realizing with resin is that you got to be a little bit more. You got to be. What's the word? I got to do a better job of like clearances and things like that, because I've been having issue. Yeah, I see that. I'm getting a so I have this overhead mount that it's connected to right now, my overhead camera. It's connected to the table, which is very shaky, but I'm getting one that will be independent of the camera, so that you can so that I can kind of do this without rocking the thing. Definitely not ideal. I know. So I gotta be conscious about that. It's the thing about it is it's mounted to this desk, but the desk is very wobbly. So not much I can do. Well, other than, like, not rest my elbows on the thing as I sand, which is fine. I can do that. I just got to be, conscious of it. Yeah, that's what I mean. And because resin is softer, it'll, have some give when you put it together. You have to I have to remember that just because the resin has give doesn't mean that, like, it's a clean fit and the paint won't get scratched up when I put it together. So just something that I got to remind myself that it's part of the process. You cannot even see my. I understand. I can do. I'll do better for the next one. I'll make sure I have something that will keep my camera steady. I actually have a tripod somewhere that might work as well. Notorious who's gonna wake up in the morning and be like, "Oh man, he probably got so much done." I did not. I apologize. What I should have done is I should have prepped I should have done all the prep before starting the stream, but I was busy after work and I just wanted to make sure I got something. Yes, you're right, but they do make. I believe they make ABS cement. I would be using super glue anyway, but I'm gonna hold off on using any glue at all for this build until I start painting. Hopefully, I hope I can do that. You guys hear my dog still? everything is undergated here. Everything, which means that everything needs to be sanded. All right. I'm going to snap these pieces together, and then I'm going to peace out, guys. I'm hoping to be... I'm going to take a look at this stream tomorrow morning, and I'm going to situate myself a bit better so that we can have a more a smoother kind of time here. But I appreciate you guys for coming. Yeah, the second kit, I'm very excited for that. Yeah, oh, absolutely. It would be good. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get with the times here. I've had, even with like Discord, I've had a Discord forever, but I haven't been used. Like I haven't joined any Discords or anything like that. So, so look at that. You're watching me with breakfast. All right. All right. Well, these things are snapping together really well, so I'm happy about that. I don't know where they're going to go yet, but they are snapping together pretty well. What's nice about this, and I'll make sure that I do this on stream, what's nice about this is there's wiring with the base that I got to do before I even, like right from the jump. So that is going to be good. I definitely want to do that on live. But, all right, guys, I think that's going to be it for tonight. Yeah, an hour and 17 minutes, and I didn't get much done. But, like you said, Ngawa, this is it's a learning experience, and we'll get better at this. I do want to stream as much of this as I can before I do my review, just so that I have a little bit of a touchstone to look back at when I'm, when I'm doing my review, talking about the build process. Because sometimes I tend to, for kits that I like, I tend to forget about the crappy stuff that I have to go through. So, but yeah, we'll talk. I feel great about wires, Derek. I had no problem with wires. Zero. And these are some of the better third-party wire harnessing that I've seen. So I'm not too worried about this. But we'll talk, guys. I'll let you know when my next stream is. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow night, but it could definitely be Wednesday night. So I will see you guys next time. And hopefully I will have some more stuff figured out. Appreciate you guys showing up.